House of Representatives mandates CBN governor to appear before it. House of Representatives approves 95.2 billion naira budget for Federal Government Power Company Limited. Central Bank of Nigeria briefs House on new policies. Hello and welcome to you and your reps on the NTA. I am Ekene Ndulwe. Thank you for joining us. The House of Representatives has asked the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, to unfailingly appear on Thursday, 22nd of December, or a capable delegate of the bank to brief the House on the newly rolled out cashless policy and redesign of the Naira. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the House took this decision after receiving a second letter from the CBN explaining the governor's inability to appear as he was outside the country on official engagements.
The House of Representatives had 2 weeks ago passed resolutions requesting the Central Bank of Nigeria to suspend the policy limiting cash withdrawals and invited the CBN governor for a brief on December 15th. The meeting was rescheduled to December 20th as he was out of the country. A second letter has been communicated to the House from the CBN explaining the governor's absence.
The House in the interim had taken a position. The issue of him coming was just to fulfill all righteousness.
No, sir, the issue of him coming is in compliance with the law.
Yeah, compliance with the law.
But
we had already passed a resolution asking him to suspend the implementation of that policy.
We give the man another chance to come, and when he comes, all these questions can be raised, and I believe Nigerians will be convinced, and those of us who are here, foot soldiers of Nigerian people, will take the right decision on behalf of our people.
And we are thinking of another date, Thursday. Are we sure that it's going to be available this very Thursday?
In fairness, at the time the invitation went out, he was already out of the country officially. We will be requesting to find out what that official assignment is that will keep the CBN governor away for almost 2 weeks. We should resolve to invite the CBN governor to brief this House on Thursday morning. And if for any reason it is verified that he is unavoidably out of the country on Thursday, that he asks his deputy governor or anyone who is well equipped to fully brief this House so that we do not carry this thing on to next year.
House members have resolved to investigate the alleged loss of $2.4 billion from illegal sale of exported crude oil dating back 2014, as raised by Representative Isiaka Ibrahim.
The entire cargo of 48 million barrels of burning light crude was sold without the proceeds being remitted to the coffers of the country.
The House has considered and approved 6 bills, 2 of which seek the reenactment of the Oath Act and the bill to establish Society of Nigerian Broadcasters.
This bill is seeking for the Society of Nigeria Broadcasting Act to regulate the profession and practice of the broadcasting in Nigeria.
16 bills were read the third time and passed. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has communicated the House seeking consideration and approval of the finance bill to support the implementation of the 2023 budget.
The Central Bank of Nigeria says since the launch of the cashless policy in 2012, the country made remarkable progress at the global financial stage in same league with countries like China and India. Briefing lawmakers during plenary, the Deputy Governor of Financial Stability of the Apex Bank, Aisha Ahmad, explained that the policy introduced on the 5th of December 2022 was in continuation of the cashless policy as the bank strives to ensure inclusion of more Nigerians in formal financial transactions in view of the reduced cost of processing which is transferred to the public. She added that the CBN is always open to stakeholder sentiments, which was why the policy on cash limits was reviewed. House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila urged the CBN to be mindful of constitutional provisions of interacting with the legislature before implementing policy decisions, pointing to the fact that the lawmakers are representatives and closest to Nigerians at the grassroots. Progress is being made in the effort to enhance the practice and conduct of broadcast profession in Nigeria as the House of Representatives passes the bill providing a legal framework in that regard. The bill seeking the establishment of the Society of Nigerian Broadcasters scaled third reading on Thursday.
Describing this scenario as a gift to the broadcasting family or world. Because we do talk of the legal profession. It has been backed up legally. Accountancy, even though there are two bodies, we have ICANN, we have ANAN. Both of them are legally backed up. And that has made it possible for them to monitor their members. They are proud of being members of such professional bodies. If this society is chartered, it's legally backed up, it will have the muzzle to monitor the activities of the members vis-a-vis the services they will be rendering. Wherever anybody is found falling short of expectation, there are provisions in the Act that have stipulated the steps to be taken against such people.
The bill will be forwarded to the Senate for concurrence. The member representing Njikoka and Ocha Dunukofia Federal Constituency of Anambra State, Ferdinand Dozie Nwankwo, developed an ICT center and also inaugurated the Federal College of Agriculture, Enugu. The representative commissioned several development centers, including ICT centers for the preparation of the coming elections. The bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Agriculture Technical, Enugu, Anambra State, in order to provide full-time courses and teaching instruction training in agricultural technology for full knowledge of agriculture and to carry out its due administration and management, scaled through first reading, and also had a public hearing on the bill, which prompted the development of the centers.
It is hoped that the facility will also provide employment, especially for the youth of my federal constituency, and by extension, Anambra Central Senatorial Zone. Discussions are already ongoing to use it as a CBT examination center for national examination like JAM, NECO. Proceeds from the center will form part of funding for other proposed projects. The skills development acquisition section of the building has the following units: cosmetology, food processing, woodwork, fashion and designing, hairdressing, confectionaries, photography, video editing, cinematography, security system and surveillance, interior decoration and civil finishing. Discussions are on advanced stage with the Catholic Diocese of Awka for its effective management for a specified number of years, renewable as terms and conditions apply.
Ferdinand Dozie Nwankwo brought this establishment for more knowledge in agricultural education, trainings, and for the people of Njikoka to learn more skills on agriculture. He also organized a medical outreach for distribution of eyeglasses, medical consultation, dental care and surgeries, and more to help both the young and old in the constituency.
You know, this is a one project that can keep our youth busy, can bring our youth together for different skills, you know, so that all of us will not be looking for white-collar job that is not in existence. But now with this project here, you can see the computers, a lot of them being displayed here. Our youth ICT is what is on now. So any young man who is still looking for a job, I don't know what he's looking for. Because under ICT, there's nothing you cannot do and get yourself, you can even employ others.
The community and the students should count themselves very lucky to have this type of world-class educational facility in this hilly, serene community of Enugu. Knowing the advantages of ICT to the development of individuals and communities, it is evident that this investment is auspicious at this crucial period. The Industrial Revolution of the 19th and 20th century has eluded most African and third world countries, but opportunities still abound for countries of the world to tap into the emerging and ongoing ICT revolution. Now, this is why we need to give kudos to Honorable Ferdinand Dozie-Nwankwo for his foresight in this humble and life-changing world-class investment.
He moved 9 bills which passed first reading. Some had gone through public hearing, while 13 motions have scaled through the House procedures.
Honorable Ferdinand Dozie-Nwankwo, representing the good people of Dunukofi, Njikoka, and Naucha in the Federal House of Representatives, Abuja, has done so much in transforming this constituency. He has touched many lives in many different ways within his constituency and beyond. His love for humanity is unprecedented. This structure we are commissioning today and the campus of Federal College of Agriculture, Ishiago, he attracted is just a tip of the plans he has for his people. Hence, we have all collectively given him the name Onyendozi.
Campaigns have been a regular trend among politicians this period, and members of House of Representatives are not left out of this, even as they carry out their duties in the House.
The campaigns this year, the major difference has been the length. So the length has made it more draining in terms of finances, in terms of physical activity. But that apart, there are some differences. I find that we who are running are engaging the voters more than we did previously. And that thrills me as a member of the 9th Assembly, the 9th National Assembly, because we passed the Electoral Act, which, if implemented to the letter, will be very revolutionary in the electionary process in our country. And I'm thrilled about that. I'm just patiently waiting for the elections to come and go, and let me see the difference that Electoral Act will make on the process. I am very happy because for some of us who trust voter turnout to win election, we think that this is our time. For those who depend on the incidence form, sorry. But we are also worried, though, that we hear that there are efforts to go into vote buying. And perhaps this currency thing going on will checkmate that. So I have a kind of renewed hope for our country. And I can't but rejoice, looking forward to the elections and seeing the results, and hoping that the results will tally with the expectations of our people so that our votes will count.
The member representing Ughelli North-South Udu Federal Constituency talked about the experience, attitude, and changes regarding the new Electoral Act 2022.
Well, the usual challenges to the electoral process. You go out campaigning, there are people who want to extort you, there are people who want to fight, create trouble, just all in a bid to extort you, really. And you now have to spend more money on security for yourself and your team. All that apart, I believe because of my performance, I have been well received by my people. You know, I've gone to places and without any arrangement, I'm received by gunshot salutes, by dancing group, and we've even got to a point where I said, no, play it down. I don't want to be loud. It's not my nature, even when I've won an election, to rub it in to the eyes of those who lost, to gloat, to celebrate. It's not my nature, So during this campaign, as I receive these responses, it's encouraging that there are some people who see the good that you do. There are some people who see it and they appreciate it. Although the vast majority of the vocal ones are like, oh, this is your 15 classrooms, your 100 classrooms you are doing, these street lights. Is it transformer we are going to eat? Is it this electricity restored we are going to eat? You meet such people. We've reached a stage where we don't look at them, and we look at those who are appreciative. We look at those who say, oh, you helped me to get COVID grant. With your assistance, I got an ISA loan, and I've established a poultry, I've established a bakery, and those are the ones that give you the joy.
And on the legislative terms and tools segments, we take a look at the term oversight. What is legislative oversight and how important is it? Let's find out from Chairman of the House Committee on Rules and Businesses, Abubakar Fulata.
All institutions of government have a standing committee in the House to look into their affairs. For example, in the 9th Assembly, we have about 106 or more, about 106 standing committees, ranging from finance, works, housing, internal affairs, interior, foreign affairs, all. We have about 106 standing committees. Now, the responsibility of these committees is to oversight the activities of ministries and extra-ministerial departments of government. Every year, the federal government, under the leadership of the president, lay budgets for all ministries and government agencies. Now, it is the responsibility of ministers now, directors, secretaries of those government agencies, to come to the relevant committee in the National Assembly to defend those budgetary items. Now, after the appropriation bill is signed into law and has become an act, it is now the responsibility of the National Assembly to make sure that the monies so appropriated are expended in line with the Appropriation Act.
The Chairman, House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee investigating the structure and accountability of joint venture business and production sharing contracts of the NNPC, Hassan Fulata, has been speaking on the committee's work. You and your reps asked him about the committee's findings and handicap.
They have defrauded Nigeria of billions of dollars. And we've told them that if at the end of our report we find that they have not produced enough evidence to extricate themselves from the allegations, we are going to lay our report before the House, and then we are going to make recoveries. We're going to adopt a resolution requesting EFCC and other institutions, other related institutions, to make full recoveries of amounts standing against their names. We are also going to send our report to their respective governments, especially for those multinationals, the 5 multinational oil companies. So they will also
take appropriate actions against them. The most serious challenge is that of cooperation. Cooperation from a lot of oil companies and one or two government institutions, especially for Federal Inland Revenue, which is critical to this investigation. But the chairman has consistently evaded appearance. On 2 occasions, he sent a special assistant, which we thought is a slight on the Institution of National Assembly, to send an assistant to represent this. We want him to appear in person.
Still on the electioneering campaigns, we spoke with ordinary Nigerians on their assessment of the process so far. Let's hear them.
I think there's the good and bad side to it, but I don't think we are ready for the cash limit yet. I think there are certain policies have to be in place before the cash limits can be, put in place. So for now, we are a cash-driven economy. We are not yet ready to go cashless, and a lot of traders and businesses run on daily cash. So I don't think it's the right time, but I think it's a good policy.
Millions of Nigerians are suffering by that withdrawal because what they are telling us they are charging on cash withdrawal, you discover in your account what they will remove is more than that. As you see me, I don't even have ATM to operate. I don't use it because when you are trying to withdraw money, there are some people on the air hijack on your transaction.
Actually, I don't buy the idea. You understand? Because why? If you ask a businessman, unlike a businessman that operates on millions of naira, you don't tell a businessman that operates on millions of naira that you withdraw 20,000 naira every day.
For the condition of Nigeria now, I don't buy the idea. Yeah, most of remote area for poor masses, I'm not sure that can go well with them because most of the local governments, there's no bank on it. Sometimes if you do transaction, it will not go through. You will go to the bank and report. It will take you some time for them to revise the money.
For those that do daily transactions, like the laborers, they don't even have account numbers. So how do you send money to them? You want to buy something on the street. How will 20,000 be enough for a daily transaction for those kind of people?
Need varies in Nigeria, and individual differences in area and aspect of life is playing a pivotal role. People do business, people travel, people do a lot of transactions on a daily basis that makes ends meet for them. But now that you are limiting them to mere tokenism as the maximum they can collect from their own money on a daily basis, it's quite not fascinating at all. In fact, it's nauseating.
It's been an eventful year 2022, particularly as it precedes the general election. How productive has the year been for the House of Representatives? We engaged Chief Whip of the House, Mohammed Tahir Mongono, to provide answers.
One of the major landmark decisions or legislation that the House has passed is that of the amendment of the Electoral Act. There is the need to reform our electoral processes to bring it in tandem with international best practices and also in consonance with the evolving technological world. And as such, the House and indeed the National Assembly passed the new Electoral Act Amendment Bill with a view to making robust provisions that will guarantee the transparency, the fairness, and the well-being of our elections, so that at the end of the day, the elections will meet the yearnings and aspirations of Nigerians and it will be rancor-free.
What a year! All eyes are now on 2023 as the nation counts down to the general election. We'll also be looking forward to the 10th Assembly as the 9th gradually winds down.
The House deserves a pat on the back for that. And within the year, also, the National Assembly has embarked upon major renovation of its facilities to make it ready for the incoming 10th Assembly, because since the inception of the Assembly, the building has not undergone major renovation. It's in a state of complete dilapidation. And as such, it becomes incumbent upon the leadership of the National Assembly to embark upon this major renovation, to give it a facelift and to make it more conducive to operate within the confines of modern technological world, because the National Assembly will go tech, will try as much as possible to discourage the issue of, for example, paper exchanging hands, other paper printed and what have you, whereby everything will be done on digital.
And that has been you and your reps for this week. We appreciate your company. That's how much we can give you on the program today. Join us same time, same station next week. I am Ekene Ndulue.